Alright, so we did the skills ranking. Now we're going to do the ults ranking. I'm just going to get right on into it. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Now, 8. Number 8. Worst to best. It pisses me off that they grab some of the most coolest looking characters, bro. That have such an amazing concept. And they make them suck ass and balls. Recluse at number 8. Now, she's not the worst by a long shot. She's just the worst because, to me, in solo play only, she's like the least practical, man. What she does this little like cool little Z move from Pokemon. She does this little dance thing with her arms, and then she spawns this red sigil. There's a relic that you can cause blood loss to yourself to buff the power. And what it does, it puts a sigil on like all nearby enemies and stuff. I think it also reses down allies and stuff. See, these characters could be better in multiplayer, but just for solo. What's it called? What it does is she does a little dance and it marks enemies with a sigil. And that sigil, every time you hit with a spell, weapon, or whatever, it heals your HP and it heals your FP. Now, for somebody like Recluse who has no HP, and for someone like Recluse who can already regenerate FP, I mean, thanks, it's just slightly quicker, and for somebody like Recluse who's probably not taking any damage, because just like Iron Eye, she's extremely frail. She sits back and shoots from a distance, and, is good when she does that. So she does not have to fight up close. I don't like it. I think it's my least favorite ult. Yeah, it's my least favorite ult in the entire game. It's basically... It's Golden Vow, but it does not give you the damage buff. Instead, it makes you regen hits, it makes you regen HP and FP, and you do more damage with everything. For like 12 seconds. Fuck that, man. Okay, boom, you achieve the iframes problem, but instead of 12 seconds or 15 seconds or however long it is, it should be a minute. Like, bro, hire me to like tweak these Nightfarers, bro. Somehow I'd keep exactly the same, like Wilder and Guardian and Raider. I'd keep those guys exactly the same, Iron Eye. But Duchess, Revenant, and yeah, the 3 female characters, I'd have to, go in there and tweak some shit out. Oh no, and actually, yeah, I'll put Guardian there. What I'll do with Guardian, I'd make it so where, what would I do? I'd make it to where, you do not drain stamina while you're in that little stance thing. For Duchess, I'll swap her ult in her skill. Her ult should be her skill. And her skill, instead of the last 3 seconds of attacks, it should be the last 10 seconds of attacks. That's not super OP, isn't it? If you proc bleed twice in those 10 seconds, you'll proc bleed twice when you hit the ult now. But yeah, I just don't like Recluses at all. And I don't get why this one chick online, she said that her ult is better than Raiders, which I'm going to get into why top 6 and up are where they're at. But speaking of Duchess, she's next at number 7. Just her ult is exactly what the relic, the Miasma of the Night relic does, where when you proc Frost, it makes you invisible. Now, the problem with it, it just makes you invisible, and you get iframes when you cast it. The problem is that, A, it's not long enough. I don't think it's long enough. It's like 12 seconds of being invisible. Now, people don't like it because, like, when you hit an enemy, they become aware, right? Not they don't become aware. They're aware that they got hit and they'll start attacking in a certain direction, but they won't attack towards you. Like they don't all up. It's not like Assassin's Gambit where like if you attack an enemy, if you sneak up on an enemy, you start attacking them, and you have Assassin's Gambit on you, they're still gonna see you. No, 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 no. You're still invisible. Like if you walk behind them for a backstab, they'll still be like attacking, and you'll be behind them over here. So it's not all bad, but it should be longer than 12 seconds. And there's some relics where every time you get a kill while you're invisible like that, it buffs your damage, which in a boss fight, a one-on-one boss fight, that's useless. Just use the Miasma of the Night relic. Proc Frost, switch to something that does fire damage, reset the Frost, proc Frost again, and, just like that. Alright, next one. Number 6, Revenant. Only because of a relic she uses. Two relics, actually. One relic, it creates a Ghost Flame explosion with the ult, and it also, like, every enemy you kill, it, like, adds, like, charge to the ult. And then, another relic where it instantly heals all her allies' HP. Like, instantly. Now, her summons are not excellent. They're not great. They're good, but they're not great. They're not excellent. Like, they don't have a lot of HP to begin with. Like, a Night Lord boss would 3-shot him. Like, for the Helen on the page, it'll probably 1-shot her. That's how little HP they have. I wish there was a way to, as you level up, they leveled up too, but no. There's none of that. So yeah, she's just the worst of the 6 I mentioned, from 6, Revenant and higher. They all have a similar effect where they can all do a lot of damage, a lot of stance damage, and a massive AoE that you get iframes from quickly. And now it's like kind of picking apart which one is the best. And honestly, you can, minus Revenant, you could sort the next 5 out in any way, and I can't really argue with that because they all achieve similar effects. They all have their downsides and upsides. I mean, number 1, I literally think there's like no downsides. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Revenant, man, cool character, but pretty, a good ult, really good ult, better than the 2 I mentioned. Alright, next one, number 5, is Raider. Raider's ult is where he summons this giant stone. Now, I feel like it's extremely overhated. I feel like Raider's ult is not as bad as everybody says it is. I would only understand if it gets in the way. It does kind of get in the way. Actually, yeah, it's not kind of. It does get in the way. Now, I guess, it does objectively get in the way. And that is the only problem I have with it. It does the damage. It does the stance damage. It does stagger enemies. You know what I'm saying? It does, if you have a jump attack build, you get to slam right on top and, dodge that. However, it's the worst of the 5 big ones. The 5 S tier ones. All of these are great. I have no problems with none of these. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just the worst of the 5 S tier ones. A lot of damage, a lot of stance damage, and massive AoE that you get iframes from quickly. And, it achieves that extremely well. So yeah, Raider, you're the GOAT, but you don't have the best ult in the game. Raider's skill and ult are great. But they're not the best, but they're great. And, they go well. Anyway, number 4, Executor. Now, you might be thinking, it's not, what about Executor's ult is like the other ones where it's a massive AoE you get iframes from? Now, with Executor, you don't get iframes, but you basically do. Boom, you summon the beast, you get all your health back. It's an instant, like, Blessing of America. Like, all your health comes back. But the thing about Executor's ult is that you could do more than just do, which is the main thing why it's in at number 4. It's the big swipe attack where you hit the skill button, L2, and then you grab your hand, you grab like a little claw, and you swipe it across, and it does the damage and stance damage as like Wilder's ult, for example. Not Wilder's ult, Guardian and Iron Eye's ult. It does the stance damage that does. But you can do more than that. You can chase an enemy that runs away from you. Um, you get to like release a flurry attack combo thing. You get to have a projectile roar attack that does lots of damage and stance damage. Can hit lots of enemies in a massive AoE, like I said. And you get to cancel it. Yeah, with the when you hit L2 and you do the swipe, it cancels you out of it. But just like Guardians, you get some regen back for their ult, which leads me to my next one, Guardian at number 3. You know, good ult, you fly high up into the sky and come slamming down like the Hiroshima atomic bomb, and you release Hiroshima atomic bomb damage. And I think it instantly revives teammates in multiplayer, so that's also good. And I have really nothing wrong to complain about it. If an enemy, goes far away, he'll actually fly over there. It's not like you do it straight, like your target is the ground that you did the ult on. It'll actually chase the enemy, which is nice. Number 2, Wilder. Now, Wilder is unlike Guardian, unlike Raider, unlike Revenant, and unlike the number 1, which I'm pretty sure you guys know what number 1 is because I did not mention him yet. Unlike the number 1 character, his ult has a small AoE. Like I'm talking maybe a little bigger than Raider's skill when it's fully powered up. But 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 um first of all, there's a relic you can get that'll have like a lingering fire effect, so it could just do even more damage. And it does a lot of damage. It does ridiculous amounts of damage. And it always, and I mean always, I cannot name a time I did not stance break somebody with it. Like the only time I did not stance break something, it was like a specific reason. And I can count on one hand the amount of times I did not stance break an enemy or boss, or just flat out instantly one shot an enemy or boss when I hit Wilder's ult. Big explosion, you have like a nuke in your hand, and it instantly stance breaks anything, pops the knees of any enemy you fight. Fucking incredible. Nothing wrong to say about it. Actually, only thing wrong to say about it is the AoE size, and that's it. But the next one, number 1, solves every problem. Iron Eye. Who knew? A character that I don't think is my favorite and I don't think is objectively the best has the best skill and has the best ult in the game. I don't see a situation where this shit is not, I don't see a situation where this shit is worse than anything I just mentioned previously. It does everything I mentioned, big AoE, and a massive AoE, a lot of damage and stance damage quickly, and you get iframes. But the thing that makes it great, and none of the other ults do this, if an enemy runs away from you, like you're fighting Adele or something, the Baron of the Night, the Gaping Jaw guy, if you fight him, he'll probably run away from you before you can hit Raider's ult, for example. Probably not Guardian's ult or Wilder's ult. But with Iron Eye, he pulls out a giant bow, and he shoots a massive tornado arrow, and that thing does, like, think of it as like Iron Man charging a fucking big ass blast, like his fucking chest beam or some shit. He charging it up, boing, and it like causes like explosions and shit. It's like that. You literally shoot an arrow that has the power of a nuclear bomb out of your bow, and it's the fact that you can. It's a distance thing. Like it's an ult. You hit the ult, and it does the damage and stance damage at a distance. Like they cannot run away from that shit. You can aim it and everything. Like I've rarely missed that AoE. Like I think it's great. Absolute S plus tier ult. Like it's absolutely incredible. You know what I'm saying? Man, what an incredible ult. Literally, I have no problems. I cannot name a time I've missed it. I cannot name a time. I cannot name. I cannot name a time where I've marked him with the skill. I marked the enemy I shot the ult with with the skill and did not pop the little marker, the little sigil, the little thing. It did not explode, so it did double the damage and stance damage. It's like incredible. So guys, there you guys have it. Ranked all the ults and all the skills for the Nightfarers. These videos are probably gonna come out back to back, so you know you guys will check that out. And yeah, that's about it right there.